Hold on, bro. Yeah, I'm reposting. I mean, hold on, bro. Yeah, I'm reposting. I mean, hold on, bro. Yeah, I'm repo. Right. Now it's all over the place. Right. Because I had to reset. Let's hope this time around it's gonna work. No. Let's see. I had to reset this. Well, yeah. I mean, let's give this a go. Let's try. This is not gonna have an intro or anything because we're gonna try and rush into it because, well, we had to drop off. Let's hope this time around it works fine. Let me know. Right. I hope. 1 second. Yeah, I'm switching screen. Here we go. Okay. Gene. Hello, Gene. Good morning. Casey, of course. I hope this one works. Let me know if it works fine. Gene is mad down. Why? Why is Gene mad down? What are you talking about? What is you talking about, sir? What is he down? Mad down. Right? What? Why are you mad down? Mad down for the video, that is. I'm confused. You guys are confusing me. What he's in mad down about or for? Let's try. Right, Casey Gene. Right. Let's give some people time to join, and we'll start over. That damn thing with the YouTube thing just broke my stream. That's not great. I'm really not happy about it. Let's hope it works this time around. Have I posted everywhere? I have, I think. Yeah. All right. If that's what we're gonna have, that's what we're gonna have then. Alex, don't bother. I think most of the people here right now are our own, already known. It's just that, yeah, it's about a regular 20, 30 people ish. Yeah, give it a sec, boys and girls. We're gonna continue. Dikhan. Okay, that is a new name I haven't seen here. Hello, sir. Live trade today. No, I don't trade on the live. This is just technical analysis. Dikan, I think you're new here, so you're not familiar. I just do the analysis that I see, and you guys do whatever you think is right. If you do anything at all, I'm just here to do the analysis. I don't trade live. No. Oh no, it's starting to do that thing again. Please tell me it's not. Ugh. Well, I'm gonna ignore it unless you say otherwise. Yeah, is it? Is it doing the thing? I mean, I'm not really talking right now, but the question is it really doing the thing? Well, I hope it's fine. I mean, you guys let me know in the chat that to me right now it seems like everything is fine. I've checked I've done a speed test. Everything looks, yeah. You're good? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you guys for letting me know because I wasn't sure. It looks like it's jumping back and forth, but to me it seems like it's okay. Leo Hill, currently fine for me. All right, awesome. Thank you, boys and girls. I appreciate you letting me know because really that is really confusing what's going on today. I really don't feel like we're starting another time. If this one drops, it drops. Then we're just gonna have to do the evening one. But yeah, okay. So let's look for now what's going on. I think we're fulfilling more of that bearish momentum that we started seeing, right? Which is not all that surprising. We're going back into today's newly formed gap. That is rather normal. We know the market doesn't like to hold these gaps for too long, but interestingly enough, you can see what's going on here, that the larger time frame is indicative of that bearish momentum overtakes the smaller time frame. All right, so we can actually see it. Let's see what's going on still. All right. Yeah, no, that's not all that surprising. Those who are familiar with the market is oftentimes very much attracted to closing the gaps as soon as possible, and thus we're getting this closure, so not all that surprising. Let's see. Let's look from the closer point of view, just so we can see what the market is doing in the live. It might be just actually bouncing off from the top of the gap. We'll see exactly what's going to be happening right here. We still might be doing some more upside. This is just a bit of a correction right before we bounce off of this and continue going to the upside. It's interesting how the gap formation, well, no, it sort of bounces up. What is it bouncing off of? Interesting. There's something intraday, probably nothing too serious. All right, so let's continue with the questions as we were doing. We started doing questions. I mean, that's really impressive. All in all, I gotta say, for Palantir, this is pretty impressive. Bouncing off of 30, actually going all the way to 34. That is goddamn impressive. But we all know what that is. That's the S&P inclusion, so it's not all that surprising, which subsequently actually gonna hurt Palantir a lot more than it's gonna help. The reason is very simple. If right now Palantir is already affected by the nature of the company, by the nature of the business, that it's highly correlated to various other businesses, and if these businesses are not going to be getting lots of revenue, in other words, there will be subsequently less service that will be needed from oh wait, I was thinking about a firm, but all over the place. Palantir in general, again, is going to be affected one way or another, just like anything and everything else, basically, in the market. So there's not a big surprise there, but I am impressed with the 34 being, part of the inclusion of the S&P, as we said, and it being affected as is significantly so by the indices as they move. Being included will bring it, basically make the moves a little bit more severe. So all in all, Palantir, Affirm, all of the small caps that had a decent run up lately, sadly will suffer subsequently. And I'm not all that surprised that we have at exactly these very similar levels. So, I mean, it's kind of decent, but all it does, it prevents these super lows that I was really afraid of, to be frank, to look a month ago. So that's actually kind of positive, but all in all, it doesn't do anything other than gives us a little bit of stability while we're going to be going down, mitigating the downwards effect. So that was Palantir and Affirm. Nvidia is still stuck kind of where I said it will be. We got real close to that S2 of mine that I said, at $100, which you can almost say, because we kind of had here 100 and what was that? 100 and what? 101 was it? Really? Was it? 101-ish? Yeah, well, looks like about that very step between 100 and maybe 100 and 101. So we're just that less of away $1 from my S2, that support that I was talking about, the $100. The very next range will be, which is a range, it's not a particular individual support or resistance, is going to be that 91.68 area, or 60 or 87.04, 91.68 or 87.04. These are the levels where we're gonna probably stumble once finishing with the 100 level. Right now we haven't even fully finalized the process with 110, so I'm running forward a little bit here. Make sure you realize that we're first going to be retesting probably 110 a couple more times, maybe even going over, and only then later down the line actually breaking the 100 and then moving to that area that I was talking about right now. Okay, so that's kind of the assessment. Now I've done that. Nvidia as well. We've covered Nvidia. We can say that. Just one star. No, the one star that was probably just me being stupid today. Just a quick little glitch. It's fine. Okay, try. Absolutely, boys and girls, those who are new and are not familiar, we have a tremendous, amazing community. It's in the Discord. All right, here I'm gonna brag a little bit. Give me a sec. I'm gonna brag. We have this wonderful community that is, in essence, 18,000 people at this very moment as we speak. Here it is. This community is built by me and Tom Nash. I have my own academy, by the way, in which I still now have 3 spots available for one-on-one technical analysis course, an academy, which I teach you one-on-one how to do technical analysis more in depth than what I show here. Of course, I'm not going to teach you just what I show here. I'm going to teach you various far more advanced principles. It's one-on-one sessions. Those are done in the one-on-one channel right here. Shout out to all our legends right here in the community. I'm not gonna name you for those who CC anyways. Of course, we have our public. Public is absolutely for free. Just make sure when you do join in, you confirm the rules. Otherwise, you will be stuck in limbo. These people that I'm pointing out right now cannot see anything. All they're seeing is the rules channel. If you're a member and you came in and you still, for some reason, cannot see the members channels that are actually the ones you're going to switch over to, make sure you go to the FAQ channel, this one, right? And you're going to have this post that will guide you exactly how to connect your links and link your accounts and all that wonderful stuff. That will allow you to transition from the public into the members and join our weekly Zoom calls, talk to me and hang out with me in the members section about every day pretty much. Most of the time I am there. If I'm not on a session, I will be there hanging out with the members, talking about the market or whatever comes about. Let's watch the market. Let's go back to the market. Let's see what the market is doing. That was a quickie right there. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe, all that great stuff if you haven't done so yet. There are only 3 spots. Once these 3 spots for the one-on-one academy are locked in, of course, the academy gets locked in. That's it. Of course, there's the Patreon, $10 a month, and you get to be our members to join our everyday banter on the voice chats and all that wonderful stuff. Mama, thank you for reminding me. I am completely all over the place today because of trying to follow up if YouTube is doing its job well, and I'm just losing my point all the time. So, Xekor, hello. Stream is working fine for me. Nvidia Pro. Maybe it's just something with YouTube today. Maybe YouTube is having issues, and we're all just going mad and trying to see, if it's ourselves having issues. And really, it's none of us. It's just YouTube itself today going bananas. So we don't know. Those who want to find the links, Mamba posted them in the chat, and also you can find them in the description of the video below at the end of the video. What else? Those who want to know about the course, there is no way to sign up to the academy other than to have a call with me. The way you do this is you reach out to me on Discord, and we have a call one-on-one. We see if you're interested in what I can offer and all that wonderful stuff. If we can have a schedule, and only then we progress. There is no way to sign up to the academy other than directly through me. The Patreon is a whole separate thing, just to be clear. All right. What else? Boys and girls, questions about tickers? Do we want to look at any tickers today, or are we good? I mean, what's up? Although no surprises on Tesla front, you see a bit of upside, now downside. I think it glitches when I switch over screens. It might have something to do with. I'm not sure. I really am not sure what's going on anymore. Not gonna lie. I just hope it's not that severe. All right. So Tesla, yeah, I mean, we have a gap to close. Do I really have to point that one out? We really have a gap to close. Market related, of course, right? This is not a coincidence that we have this gap right here to be closed right that same way. So not all that surprising. Let's go back. Well, yeah, we're there. Sorry. Let's see if we're actually going to, I just done the wrong thing. Let's see if now the price action will actually penetrate into the gap, or will we bounce off of it, or what we will bounce off of, because this is a previous older gap, I think. Let's see. Yes, Miley, yes. So yeah, we are going into recession. I do believe so. I have mentioned this before. There are various signs of it, going from the instability of interest rates and inflation. Oil prices that are actually kind of low today. Those who have not been following, we actually went as low as 67 today, but still, this is rather elevated if we consider the 70 range and what's below it to be great buying prices. That's not good. Geopolitical instability, of course, national debt, jobs numbers, everything pointing towards it. And it's something that could have been maybe prevented or mitigated maybe to some extent by the Fed, but because they chose not to hike rates as high and or as quick as they had to, subsequently resulting with conditions that are where we are right now, not allowing to stifle inflation all the way from 3 to 2%. So all in all, they kind of missed the train, and once we've missed that, and a lot of people in the beginning were talking about the Taylor rule, and I was saying how this time around it's not going to be. It's not that it's not applicable. It's just that the Fed will not do, it seems, what the Taylor rule dictates, thus getting us actually out of problematic times, right? Supply chain disruption. Supply chain was never restored to normality since we've gone through the very problematic period. So all in all, nothing has really changed since my previous assessment. So yes, still recession. Then job numbers are of course very indicative. Inflation is just horrible through the roof. Remember, we have to go through horrible pain right now to fix these problems. Of course, yes, recession will bring the markets down. More so, the condition that the Fed are forced into cutting rates right now. Look, cutting rates when they have succeeded is a good thing. Okay? When they have failed, it is a sign that they are forced to cut without them actually wanting to, because otherwise the economy will even just go into worse condition. It is literally choosing the better of the two evils. In essence, they don't have a good choice in this at this point. They were not able to move inflation from 3 to 2%, which is the hardest thing to do. It's easier to move inflation from 9 to 3 rather than 3 to 2. That's the hardest part, really. Pardon me. It has a lot to do with cyclicality as well. There's a lot of parameters and a lot of factors I'm not pointing out. It will require me hours on end of explanation for you to actually be able to know and be aware of these cycles. And only then, of course, once you join, you can inquire with Greg, becoming an academy student. Very correct, very correct. Guys, be very attentive. Mama is writing and giving you all the guidelines how to join in. And be aware that the academy, once it fills in, that's it. It's locked until I have more spots, until I'm more available. Again, I don't want to be working day in, day out. That's the reason I'm quite flexible. So please don't waste time. Otherwise, don't be surprised that the answer is, wait for the next spot. Out of 5 spots, 2 have been taken pretty much immediately. In fact, it should be only 4 spots, but I kind of made a bit of a gesture there and made it into 5 spots. Intel is not a growth asset. It grows in very, very small increments, relatively speaking, for very prolonged periods. Intel is a dividend asset, is a defensive asset to hold. All you do is you buy a ton of it and let it pay you money. All right? That eventually in the future, in the far, far, far future, while it's paying you money, of course, it's gonna slightly appreciate in value, first of all, but generally it's more of a defensive move to give you dividends and basically give you passive income. So that is Intel is a part of a good, stable foundation of a portfolio. Okay, that for a portfolio to be built and structured the correct way, having Intel in it is very, very good and important. Hey Leo, good to know. Thank you and welcome. And don't forget, make sure you do all the things there. You confirm the rules so you don't get stuck in limbo. So you actually get into the public part first of all, and then you make sure that everything is connected, right? You use the same email for your Discord and your Patreon, and then you will be able to proceed to the members, and then just hang out with us if you feel like. Get a lot of exclusives and join the weekly Zoom calls, participate in the giveaways, all that awesome stuff we have in the community. Guys, follow what Mama is writing. Mama is posting you all the guidelines, all the links, everything. She's literally doing God's work here. Well, God's. Wow, that was. Whoa. Okay. Well, not God's work. I mean, but helping Greg a lot, if you will. Intel to the moon. Less. No, Arnold. Just Arnold is. I wouldn't call him a troll, but he's the good troll. He's gonna make good, funny kind of jokes that sarcasm. I mean, come on. John, is that the John who asked about the Tom Lee picks, that wanted to see the Tom Lee picks? Because I'm so sorry, I've realized only then when I finished the live that I forgot to do what you check your picks, or Tom Lee's in that instance. So yeah, Xekor, sorry, you were saying does it still bring in less when we take it into account in comparison to non-dividends? Xekor, you are comparing a pineapple to a tractor. Okay, stop. Those are separate things. You need to have both. You see, people need to stop. Is this better or that better? No, you know what's better? Having both. And the purpose of them is different as well. You need to understand the purpose. That's the most important bit. Once you understand the purpose, you realize that why you need to have both, right? It's like understand the idea that to have a good car, it's not enough to have the best engine in the world but no wheels, right? You need to have sort of a balance between the two. You need to have good wheels and a good engine. And if you need to sacrifice having the best engine to actually have wheels altogether, then that's what you should do. In other words, you should have good dividend stocks in your portfolio as part of your foundation, and only then proceed to risk on if that's what you're pursuing or interested in altogether. Look, Mile, I'm assuming that's Mile. I hope I'm pronouncing it Stolikov, Miles Stolikov. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Look, what I suggest doing, rather, I don't suggest anything. I suggest doing is listening to your own self, right? But if to be formed differently, what I would do in my instance, but it doesn't necessarily mean, look, let's say you cut, right? Let's say you cut a certain percentage of your holdings, but then the market rallies. Will you be fine realizing that a certain percentage of your holdings missed out? If you will be fine with that, if you're a mature person, which we have to always not just look at the best outcome and say, oh, that is the best outcome and thus I'm going to be biased and prepared for it. You have to prepare for all outcomes. And if you will be fine with the outcome of the market dropping, potentially you could, right? It's up to you. I myself, when managing my portfolio, if under a situation where I'm already profitable, significantly so, and more so if I more than doubled my money, potentially what I'm going to be looking at is, of course, withdrawing the original investment, the original money that I've put into this. It, of course, will allow me to be a lot more relaxed and calculated with the money that I remain in the market. Now, I do in these instances oftentimes look at what would be around the 30% range. If, of course, I do judge based upon if it's related to the original investment amount, based upon that as well, I will look into that as well. What that leaves me with, that depends on how really profitable I am. But yes, I myself would cut down about 30% if I'm not certain. But you see, that strategy almost shows that you don't know what's going to happen. In a way, this is sort of the best way to prepare when you're not certain. I found that my analysis is rather accurate, and I'm far more often correct than wrong. So, with regards to my own portfolio, I find it to be non-beneficial or not beneficial enough, not the right way to go for me. So I execute completely. I go black and white, so to speak, like, or a very binary answer, yes or no, in or out, kind of thing. There could be conditions under which I would prefer to cut down my holdings, but then remain in the market. Yes, they do exist, of course. And for you, again, you need to decide for yourself what is the right way to go about it. But yes, there is a strategy that a part of it is liquidating a part of your holdings. Yes. Doo-doo-doo. Jump 36 hours when Trump talks about China uh, tariffs during debate. Could be, Casey. Could very much be that. But just particularly Intel. I mean, I would think lots of just in the entire chip sector would probably be affected. I would more so probably the market if you look at it this way. But it's just Trump speaking. A lot of people are not going to take this seriously, saying, "Well, I mean, let's first get him elected before all of it matters." Google at 149 now. Hard deep. What? I mean, okay, okay. What is the question there? I'm not sure. Not I. All right, John. Now we had somebody asking about some pics of Tom Lee's, and I forgot to look into them. And when I remembered, it was too late, and I feel horrible about it. So John, the one that wanted me to take it long, Tom Lee's pics. If you are here, let me know. I will look at these. The pronunciation is weird on English, but correct. No, it's not that weird. It's just me being a dumbass. It's absolutely just me being a dumbass. I do speak Russian. I mean, I'm originally from Kavkaz, so Stolikov is not that difficult for me to pronounce. It's just I wasn't sure about the mile because I've seen the thing with names is that you can see a name the way it's written, and there are other names that are pronounced very similarly. Yeah, I thought it was Miles. Yeah, something akin to that. Exactly, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I've had instances where you have a name that is very very similar, just pronounced differently. Shalom Grisha, which is what the hell are you writing there? I cannot see. Murat, stop calling me Grisha. I'm Greg, but that's all right. If you really really yeah, but that's fine. No worries. Don't worry about it. Let's do a little noise so I can see what you're writing. Which RSI period, days, week, month you prefer for calculate? Murat, I already spoke about this. There is no you prefer. It depends on the job. It depends on what I need. What am I looking for? And you need to be aware of all of them. You don't prefer one of them. Let me, Murad, let me ask you, which wheel do you prefer to have on your car? The back left one or the front right one? Just one wheel, right? It's meaningless. You cannot have, it's all over the time frames, depending on what am I trying to do or trying to measure, trying to see, determine. Really, they are all important. You use all the time frames. Of course, smaller time frames will readjust more often, larger time frames will adjust more slowly, thus more change, that sort of thing. You have to consider that as well. It's a Slavic Balkan name. All right, all right. I thought it sounds something like Miles, something akin to that. I had a suspicion. I use all of the ones you see. Maybe the one I don't use is like the 30 seconds, the rarest. It doesn't have really a lot of use. I use all of the time frames. All right, all right. So far what we've seen, the price action has penetrated a little bit, bounced off. We're basically retesting that overbought territory right here in the 1 minute. Not that surprising. Oversold, meaning giving us a little bit, probably a little bit more retest potentially, and then move up. We're still moving to the downside, which is interesting, to the 30-minute chart. 45 minutes as well is a bit wonky. 1 hour, it just goes to show how much more bearish momentum there is in the system, that even the bullish side of things is basically showing how we go down. I like it. I saw somebody point out in our Discord, technical analysis work until they don't. No, they always work. It's the people's inability to read the indicators that what stops working. So I'm sorry if the brain doesn't work, but the technicals always do. That's the beauty about them. They are always correct and always right. If you got it wrong, it's you who got it wrong, not the technicals. 30 seconds long-term investing technical. Xecker, you killed it all right now. Okay, that is 30-second long-term investing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very true. 30-second long-term investing. Submarine pilot in the tank core. Yeah. If we're looking at the short term, if we're looking objectively at everything, it is far more likely for us to close today's gap than anything else. Then we're actually going to be relieved from this chore that we have, and then only we can actually look at what the market, that when we're gonna reach 5. Boy, there we go. I'm just saying, as I'm saying it, there you go. Perfect. Thank you, market. Just saying doing what I'm saying. I do think, we're gonna continue close that gap, and only when we reach 5409, we're actually gonna be free to look at the technicals. We can sort of stay around and hang around in time being on the live if you guys want. I don't mind. We'll see if it's going to be done in the relative short term. We'll be able to sort of see it together and analyze how the market looks and sort of what we expect based upon the technicals. But for right now, as it stands, it seems like the market really wants to close that gap, moving downwards to 5409. Done. Will Nvidia retest? Yes, I've said so earlier. We were talking about it for a little bit. Let me just do this quickly. I do think inevitably Nvidia getting entangled. So look, when I give you these three ranges, in the short term, when you're hyper focused, it's gonna look like it's doing this. When you zoom out a little bit, you're gonna realize it's doing this. In other words, testing this as well, maybe even sliding over. And on the longer term, when you're gonna actually zoom out, you're gonna realize what it's doing. It's doing something akin to ta 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 ta. So again, this is just sort of an example, but still retaining the overall formation to the downside, right? Moving us further deeper and moving away from what is ceiling, what is floor into ceiling, and what was nothing at first will become our new floor, and slowly but surely, gradually break lower and lower and lower. So yes, we do expect another retest of 110 and potentially another retest of 100. So there's more time to retest all of these. I believe so. Based upon the technicals as well, it's very indicative that we will inevitably test these levels. On the individual assets do not move in uniform movement one-to-one with the indices, although at the end of the day very much in tandem. Sort of, if you zoom in and look at things in that granular form, you will recognize discrepancies and how the assets themselves move far quicker and sort of adjust. Okay. Sorry, my bad. 117, pardon. Before you have right, Nanny. Thank you. Thank you, guys, girls. Those who are not yet familiar, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. Otherwise, you'll not be informed. Join our Discord. The links, Mama posted them here in the chat, to our Discord, to my Patreon. The Patreon will allow you to join our weekly Zoom calls and all that wonderful stuff. And if you're interested in learning about the One-on-One Academy, in which I teach you how to do proper technical analysis, stuff that is far more advanced, exactly all that stuff that allows me to predict far bigger movements on far larger time frames, and even sort of with the discrepancies of the back and forth, the day-to-day minutia, I am able to predict what the market is going to do in big turnarounds and all this wonderful stuff. That's exactly what I teach. In essence, the purpose is to teach you to be able to analyze the same way I would if I was there with you, right? But on your own. In other words, you don't need me. You actually possess the tools. Make sure to reach out to me on DMs in the Discord, direct message me. Otherwise, there is no way to sign up to that One-on-One Academy. Went on a long rant there, shameless plug, but I don't think I need to be shamed here. Thank you for great insight, Mac. My pleasure, my pleasure. I mean, come all the time. I do that all the time. I do these lives on a daily basis. In fact, today that's the second one around because YouTube wasn't really cooperating with me earlier. I'm not sure why. But yeah, that's I do these on a daily basis. Also, I make videos that I go sometimes in depth. For example, the whole movement with NVIDIA, I actually predicted all of it. If you watch, there is a video that I've made about 11 or 12 days ago on the day of the earnings, right? And prior to that, I've predicted all of this, all of NVIDIA's price action going into this. And of course, right now it's easy to say, oh, no, I knew it when all of you thought I'm crazy. Not you, but I mean, the people, so to speak, when it didn't make any sense. I mean, to be really more correct here. About the gap, make it go down again. Casey, that's not how it works. I wish, talking about it actually moves it downwards. We used to have lots of running jokes in the Discord that, if someone does something suddenly, or we used to have fun with how a firm moves up only on Wednesdays and then it switched over to Tuesdays. It doesn't really work like that, of course. Gap, 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 gap. It's like Beetlejuice, say it 3 times and yeah, gap, gap, gap. Right? You see, Casey, it doesn't work. Superstitions, sadly, don't really care for the market. Normally busy working and can join live, but I listen to each recording. Mac, wow, that is thank you to hear that. I'm thankful to hear that. It's great to hear that. You guys are awesome. I do have kind of this tight knit community of people that ended up joining and listening and viewing. Of course, there are people who cancel the view later, but I tremendously enjoy doing these lives. Otherwise, I mean, I was literally sitting there and so like disappointed with YouTube that suddenly started doing these issues. As you can see, normally I'm a little less all over the place. I'm a little all over the place today. Not sure why. Not sure. I have a good excuse for it. Maybe didn't sleep well. Maybe did sleep too well and haven't woken up yet. I'm not sure. And the whole thing sort of a dropping off, and I wasn't sure whether to restart. But I enjoy these so much, so I decided to start over. Why not? I mean, I really do. I really do enjoy hanging out with you guys, discussing the market. You see, when I used to work for various institutions, from the earliest stages, from when I was a know-nothing junior, we would all have conversation in between the phone calls, between the speaking to the clients. And so every conversation just kind of get interrupted most of the time, and then we could continue. Here I don't have to sort of speak to clientele per se. I have my own schedule, and all that stuff is kind of sorted, so I get to hang out with you guys and talk about the market, whether it's on the Discord itself, whether it's do the analysis, of course. More so, I really enjoy building on my own YouTube channel. I'm not gonna lie, I tremendously enjoy this. I'm not gonna tell you don't smash, don't like anything. Tom was a lucky man, grew up during, his account grew tremendously. I mean, not just lucky, he's very, very successful in terms of it does things very correctly in terms of the YouTube. But yeah, I would want to see my channel grow. I wouldn't want to see my time being wasted. And also, Tom kind of started at the right time to do that. I am starting at the worst time to do that. So it is what it is. I acknowledge that, but I don't mind. I do enjoy the hangouts. I do enjoy the conversations. I do enjoy the insight that you guys bring to the channel as well. I mean, I don't know everything. I don't remember all tickers. I don't remember. It's impossible. The scale of the work is so wide that, I mean, inevitably you can't know everything. You can't practice everything at the same time, and you guys contribute a lot to the process. I highly enjoy it with you. You see, you Casey, you see what you did? What you did? What you done? Dun. You've made it so that now it's going up instead of going down. You see? It's all your fault. Spending time frame. You are at a good time. 1 second, I cannot see. You are here at a good time to save us from losing. I was back then when it was good time to buy as well, and I was saying that as well. The videos are still up. It's just less people were listening in. And Tom didn't know enough about me, nor enough of my skill, nor seen it in actual practice to vouch that you should listen likewise. So that kind of changed as well. Yes, absolutely. Boys and girls, those who wonder and cannot see the details in the chat right now, the links are in the chat right now. The Patreon link is in the chat. Be attentive. Make sure that you don't have to sign up on Patreon if you're planning on getting the Academy. The Academy gives you lifetime membership on our Discord, to the Zoom calls and all that great stuff. Like I said earlier, it basically gives you the Academy plus the benefits of the Patreons lifetime. So no need to sign up for Patreon if you are planning to get the one-on-one Academy. Not yet, Danny. That is a good question. I was planning. Wait, not 20,000. It should be 2,000. You're confusing. Not 20. 2. I wish 20. 20 is like Arnold's collective. No, not even really. But not yet. But I'm gonna load up. I hope by tomorrow. I hope if not today, then I'm gonna load up tomorrow. This could be a very good time for me when the market, if it will test higher, right? As we say, it might test all the way we said to that 5501, for example, level 5487. If we get to test these, then I definitely want to be loading more. So I'm a little bit kind of waiting a little bit. I'm not necessarily rushing towards. I do see some potential of testing higher levels, subsequently bringing the SQQQ lower, giving me a better buying point. All in all, it really doesn't matter, but I will probably gonna be loading up on more either today or tomorrow. I would actually gladly show you the position myself. It's just that I have to go into my bank to show you, and I really don't want to be exposing any of my bank details, not even by accident, then regretting why did I show it. But I openly take a snap picture, kind of, little snap picture of the position from my portfolio, and I show it off on Discord. I really don't mind. Joining Discord. Make sure to confirm the rules. Mama is so correct. Boys and girls, those who are not on Discord, confirm the rules. Otherwise, you will be stuck in limbo and will not see anything. And make sure you confirm the rules. Very, very, very important. Also, read the rules just to make sure you understand how to conduct yourself there and all that stuff. Mama, you are an absolute best moderator on the entirety of YouTube. I used to help out Tom like this, and in various forms, various ways. I just recently built another Discord for this girl who speaks about what's going on in Israel. Just posted it the other day, on our Discord ourselves, and I try to do sort of support people doing their own lives, their own stuff, and it's very difficult to keep up and actually continue speaking and following and doing everything all together, unless of course you're just rambling and not really talking about things like the market. So, Mama, you're just an absolute amazing help to me. I thank you. I'm so grateful beyond my ability to express how grateful I am. I give you all the perks. I mean, you know I'm grateful. You know I am. I don't have to say that. Mama is a student of mine. Those who want to know, and she's one of our resident members in the community, and also on my channel. I definitely trust her to be the mature and reasonable voice of a moderator, so that's why she's my mod. I trust her to be the mature adult in the room where some of the kiddies misbehave. Danny, I wouldn't mind having that many S triple Qs. Trust me, if my liquidity would afforded me right now and I wouldn't had some issues just in the last couple of years that I had to spend or maybe not gain the money I was planning on, I would have 20K of that, not even thinking twice. Not even thinking twice. My actual position I want to own right now, right, without sort of exaggerating or anything, would be 4,500 of it, 4,500, for the reason of being able to sell up at particular junctures as we go up, but then get rid of the vast majority on the top. So I am more than 2,500 shares behind, just to give you an idea. My voice is dying. That is fun. That is fun. 120 zeros having what is valuable? Absolutely, Casey. It is absolutely priceless. I can't even describe having somebody who helps you out and post the links and any form of help. If it's moderating the chat itself, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I know myself. I've been doing it. It is a priceless, valuable asset to have somebody like Mama. For the way up. Mac, I prefer not to speak about that in the live. It's the S triple Q is a little bit more of a convoluted asset, and I don't even recommend you guys get into it unless you really understand it in depth all that well. I'm just telling you openly what I own. It doesn't mean no one should be following my crazy ideas and all that stuff. Look, you should liquidate when you are satisfied. I might be looking for far more than 100%, but you get jittery at 100%, even nearing 100%, right? So to each their own. I cannot tell you, but I can tell you that I am looking for a bare minimum to squeeze. It would be 100% on the S triple Q. That is for me, and my average is 13 right now. Just saying. All right, but I mean, let's say 100% on a price point of 10, right? So giving it's going to be like around 30. But to each their own. To each their own. 30, 20. Sorry, not 30, 20. Sorry. I want to say 20 right there. I wanted to say 20. You see, Casey, whenever we don't mention the gap, it's going down. If we start saying gap right now, it's going to start going up right now. It's counterintuitive. You need to learn how not to F with the market. It's like, be quiet, let me do my thing. If you start rushing me, I'm going to go the other way. That's how the market works. You see? We just said it became green. You see, Casey? It's all your fault. Casey, it's all your fault. Now we know who to blame. QID. I don't remember it to save my own life right now, but I think Casey's right. I think there are some other things about it as well. If that's the asset I'm thinking about, damn it, I don't remember. I need to look into this. But I believe Casey would not be just misleading. I'll have to look and just to remember and be sure. Hmm. I see, Danny. I see. Because Danny, for that you'll have to learn technical analysis in depth, and I'll have to explain to you the correlation of certain things and then to other things, and then why it looks the way it does. It's a very complicated asset. It takes a lot of precursor knowledge for me to break down in a way that makes sense without me exposing any IP of mine, or it's just impossible. And it will require many hours of explanations back and forth. I'm sorry, Danny, but for that to understand, you're gonna have to understand to know, as I said, precursor knowledge that will allow you to understand the full complexity of why the S triple Q looks as if it was just going down forever. So yeah. Yeah, triple Q's outside of some. So I wrote that. I read that. Wrote read. My brain is going stupid today. SOXS instead of Q reg run up. Have a bigger drop. Hmm. That is going to be related, Michael. That is highly related. That's not such a bad idea. I see what you're saying. Going short on the semis, sort of particularly. I see. That's not a good idea. Not a bad idea at all. I mean, it is a good idea, but you're just going to be basically, what are you really doing? You're taking the same reasoning and the same form of risk, but you're gaining. But then again, you're gain. But no, it sort of makes sense, but at the same time, it doesn't. But it's not necessarily a bad idea. But I see what you were thinking about there, Michael. Michael was, yes, it was Michael. Not. It's definitely not a bad idea. Okay, generally speaking. Again, not financial advice. You do you, but I can see how that's not a bad idea. We want Greg IP. You get Greg IP. You start your academy today, Greg. Brad. Mm-mm-mm. What question? Answer to your question, Casey. Mm, what question was that, Casey? What, the one about the QID? You mean? Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying so. All right, all right. I don't think I've missed anything, so I think Mom's referring to that other question. Having money. Yeah, I think that's what she was referring to. All right, well, so far again, we're moving downwards, closing our gap slowly, which is good as we expected. I mean, moving, yes, 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 yes. I would want it to move close fast, but you know. All right, boys and girls. So if we have no questions, I'm gonna close this up. I think we're gonna watch the market separately going down to as far as we can tell, maybe correcting a little bit up. We'll see how it's gonna squeeze all that upwards momentum we still have, right? Now what we have still on the hourly. what we have still on the 4 hours, and subsequently eventually give way to what we have on the daily and weekly. All right, so all in all, medium range bearish, obviously, with some sprinkles of bullishness in between. That's kind of what we get right now. All right, boys and girls, we good. We good. I think we're good for today. I think we've covered everything. So a bit of relief from what we've had, all that downside, but all in all, probably even the assets are going to be dragged down to their previous supports. For example, if a Palantir, it's our 3007, very well familiar 2907, similar kind of situation where we have a tight range right there. If Tesla, if we're talking about Tesla is of course back to its black line support here that we spoke about before. So not that many surprises with Tesla as well. Let's see. Let's see. That is that same line, right? That's line. Or I could have just done this. Drawing. All right, there's that. Apple downside. I mean, we spoke about Apple enough, and there's not enough to say how elevated it is. So there's a lot of downside for Apple. We are seeing more or less what I'm expecting. We're still residing on the same supports and resistances. As you can tell, those are give or take the same areas, the same levels. Right, you can kind of see that we're retesting the same old stuff, but we're closing on finally breaking down through this range and into the lower range. Okay, so Apple is down as well. S&P we've covered. Nvidia we looked at. I think we already covered the idea of up down between 110, 100 and 91, 87 area. 91 or 87. Again, not the decimal numbers. Okay, there's that. And that's it. I think we've covered all the beautiful stuff for today. VIX is volatility wise, if we're going to look, I mean, the market doesn't seem all that volatile. In fact, we're sort of going down, but remember, VIX doesn't like gaps, and that is very much indicative of the market sort of moving and closing in that gap, giving us more volatility. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys. All right, so the links are in the chat. Those who missed them, they will be in the description below. And that's it, boys and girls. Today's meeting, at least the market open meeting, is adjourned. I'm so sorry it was cut into 2 parts. It's because YouTube was definitely being screwy with us. Hopefully in the evening we're going to have more of a smoother stream. Boys and girls, thank you. Ladies and gents, whatever you are, aliens from different solar systems, thank you for showing up. I will see you on the next stream. Bye bye.